I was stoked, man. I was
I bet.
stoked. I was like, "Hell yeah."
They call you SC experience for a reason. What's your expectations for USC this season? And with all the transfer, we talked about it a little bit, with all the transfers that have come, and of course, who I think is one of the most well-regarded coaches in
Oh, yeah.
in college football, really in college football history, to almost have three Heisman winners back to back to back, but to flip somebody like Kyler Murray, who came from Texas A&M, and um, Baker Mayfield, who came over from Texas Tech, and made these guys look incredible. Shows how good of a coach he is, and now he has not only his quarterback coming back over, but he has the history behind him, and Southern California actually buzzing more than it has in the past, and you could probably speak to that. But what's the expectations for your team this year?
I think it's high. I think, you see when the moment a lot of I know it's understandable that a lot of Oklahoma fans they bashed him when he left in the middle of about to go to a bowl game and all that stuff. But for me, I think as a USC fan, it's understandable why he did that. I mean, I think he wanted to get straight into work. He knows that USC needed a lot of work, especially after last season going, of course, 4-8, I believe. It's tough. It was a tough season. I mean, like I said, I know. Shout out to Coach. He always said it, man. The reason people watch a lot of UC games is that boy Drake London was putting on a show, man. It was
That
that bad. I
Utah
mean, our
game was
defense.
amazing, man.
Yeah. I also was a fan of Drake Jackson and them. They're all and Isaiah Palomar. They're all in the NFL now. Shout out to Isaiah Palomar. He's a Raider. But when you really look at it, you see all the things he made. He brought in Caleb Williams, I think a good quarterback. You end up going into the recruitment and you get a lot of five-star recruits. I mean, a five-star recruit I have really high hopes for is two guys actually. Damani Jackson, the guy from Modern Day, and CJ Williams from Modern Day, both guys, a wide receiver. CJ Williams was a four-star 50-50 ball getter
Mm.
from Modern Day, was a top 100 recruit in this year's class specifically. And as far as
Is
Damani
that
Jackson
school?
goes, he's
Is that school? I'm sorry to cut you off, but is that school held in high regards out there?
oh yeah, them, Bishop Gorman. Those are
Yeah,
a
I know
couple
about
guys.
Bishop Gordon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so they're one of the top schools, modern day. And yeah, and we also get a five-star recruit, Damani Jackson, 6'1", 185 pounds, that I think will work very, very well with Makai Blackman, a senior red shirt from Colorado. And on top of that, you pair him up with also Joshua Jackson Jr., 6'2" guy. And as you can see, what all these guys have in common, there are a lot of big body guys, a big body secondary. And then you see our safety, Kalen Bullock, a All-American safety freshman that's now, of course, a sophomore, 6'3" safety, actually. They're all big, they're all very physical corners, and that's what I like about it. I see that they're trying to get physical, and something Damani Jackson brings to the table. He's a good press man corner. The guy is top notch. He's a good run defender. The only problem with him is his sometimes his hands, but that just takes coaching discipline. I mean, disciplining him, telling him, hey, watch your hands. Besides that, you also look at other things like, I mean, the most notable one, the most recent one that I found out that I didn't even know until a while was actually the guy from Oregon, Travis Dye from the running back. That guy's a stud.
dude.
I mean,
I like to
yeah,
say that I can keep up with college football stuff, but I don't know how that one slipped through the cracks where I didn't know that
yeah.
Travis Dye went to SC. Man, I was like, are you serious, brother?
I was stoked, man. I was
I bet.
stoked. I was like, hell yeah. I mean, a 1,200-yard guy, 16 touchdowns, six average. I mean, for me, when I look at a player coming from the transfer portal, I always look at throughout the season. I go look at, especially watching Pac-12 a lot. I'm a very big Pac-12 fan. I always said that USC is gonna put Pac-12 back on the map now, but now we know the news of them moving conferences, which that's a whole different topic. But yeah, I always look at his 2 games. I mean, of course, Oregon lost the bowl game and they lost the Pac-12 championship, but when you really look at Travis Dye's performance in both of those, I mean, 153 yards on Oklahoma with the touchdown there, pretty good, stats there, and the Pac-12 championship, even though they got pretty much smacked in the mouth, they had, he had 82 yards and a touchdown, 5.5 average, and overall the guy is a stud. I mean, bringing him and having somebody like Raleek Brown, a four-star recruit from Modern Day as well. A lot of Modern Day guys, a four-star recruit. He's He's a damn well little short, fast running back that going behind Travis Dye is good for the future. So when you really look at all these guys, even bringing in Terrell Bynum from Washington and Gary Bryant Jr. and having Gary Bryant Jr. a good kick returner, and then Brendan Rice from Colorado, that's our wide receiver room. Giving this guy a lot of weapons, I think our offense is going to be explosive. I think our defense is the only little point where it's like, how's the defensive line gonna be? Because that's one of the main concerns I've had this year. But
Who's
somebody
your
to look out. Oh, good.
Yeah, I was saying, who's your main linebacker? Because all those linebackers that came out of SC, like Clay Matthews Jr. and what's his name that used to play for the Bengals, and I'm sure there's countless others, but those are the two that stuck out in my head just now. But who's that next guy? Do you think? Or you guys aren't quite there yet?
I don't think they have a starter yet. I think I seen the spring game, but that's just a spring game. I mean, you
I
look
watched a
at
little bit
people
of it
like,
too.
yeah, Julian Simon. I mean, just to talk
Hmm.
about it, there's some notable linebackers that we got in the squad. Actually, looking at my list here, we also have Clyde Moore that I really have so far, the guy from that went from Colorado. And like I said, we got a lot of notable linebackers, but I really can't tell you who's gonna start. I think the linebacking core is the only core that really is up in the air for me. I think them and the defensive line, but somebody that I really know is going to be an automatic starter, I believe, and in that defensive line specifically is Tuli Tupolito. Hopefully, I didn't butcher his name. Um, I think the guy's a stud. I mean, he's going to start in that defensive, the inside and the interior. I mean, I think he's the only notable starter. I think the defense is specifically, except for the secondary, because I think, like I talked about, Makai Blackman, Joshua Jackson, I think will be starters. But as far as the linebacking core, that's up in the air for me. Defensive line's up in the air for me. And the offense, I think we know who is all gonna start. I mean, Jordan Addison,
Yeah,
um, and
great pickup.
Mario Williams. They brought in Mario Williams too. And once you watch a spring game, something you're gonna see is that connection between Caleb Williams and Mario Williams. I mean, the guy caught 2 touchdowns in that spring game. Beautiful passes too, by the way. Didn't have that many yards, but it was good end zone, corner, back shoulder type of catches. So, you already see the connection between those two. And for
Didn't
the
have that many
defense,
yards, but it was
of
good.
course, we brought in our defensive coordinator from Oklahoma, actually, Alex Grinch. Alex Grinch didn't really show his how he's gonna run his defense. He always talks about speed, the
Hmm.
speed defense in Oklahoma, but he hasn't shown it. Even in the spring game, he made sure he even said in a press conference that he wasn't going to show his colors. So whatever that means, hey, I'm all for it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
we
don't
have a
show
lot of
all
noble
your
guys.
tricks.
Yeah, facts. So I think, in my opinion, going 4-8 last season, um, I think we will go 10-2 this season. I think we will drop 2 games to either. Of course, we're not playing Oregon. We're not playing Washington, which is a plus. But we are playing Utah and Notre Dame, Arizona State, and Washington State. And I think we will drop 2 games to one of those 4 guys. I think it might be Utah. Utah's looking goddamn good this season. And Notre Dame always has our number. So
Yeah, I
those are
have
2 guys.
Utah actually
Yeah.
getting into the college football playoff this year. I think I
Okay.
think they're that damn good. But yeah, I don't know what this dude is saying in the comment section. But the linebacker that I was talking about was Ray Maualuga from that came from
Okay.
SC that went to
Yeah.
Cincinnati. I don't know. I forget where Vontaze Burfict played. I don't think he played for SC though. But this guy Howie Weasel, what is Eagles practice stop the unnecessary hype? Worst playoff loss ever. Uh, Dude, we're not even talking about the Eagles, bro. Like, let's if you're in the
Yeah.
comment section, make sure you stay on topic here. Like, I mean, if you got a question for Eric that's regards,
Yeah.
into USC or the Raiders, let's keep it on topic. That's not what we're talking about right now. Not to be
Yeah.
rude or anything, but this is not anything about the Eagles. But yeah, man, I'm excited for you guys. I mean, I wasn't so high on that, thinking that you guys were going to be a lock even for the top 10.
Mhm.
But now that I watched that spring game and trying to see the chemistry that was there. And Caleb Williams is a really good quarterback from last year, and then getting Jordan Addison. Like Cottrell said over on Facebook, I wonder if there's going to be some type of tampering penalty that might happen on SC. But as of right now, you're getting a Bolitnikoff winner, so you know what I'm saying. Like, there should be a lot of excitement that comes out there for you guys, and I'm super excited to see it. And then you guys are going to be taking a big leap here in the and in the next couple of years. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
definitely.
that's just it is what it is. It's going to be competitive. Oregon, they had a coaching change. They're going to be competitive. UCLA is like right around the corner of like just being good. I mean, say what you want about
Mhm.
Chip Kelly, but he's turning that program around as well. So